Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yogam. In the last satsang, we have completed the chapter. As usual, we have to now see the summary of it. But not as a usually what we do in the name of summary. But today, we are going to see this summary like this class as the introduction to the 17th chapter. There is some connection between this today's what we are going to see, because the entire 16th chapter, only two topics or three topics. One is in the first three shlokas, Bhagavan told about the Daivi Sampat. But while telling those 26 Daivi Sampat, it is a litmus test for a mumukshu. If you are really sincere about the real spiritual sadhana, then it is a litmus test for us. Whether we are really having, how many of those qualities we have. So we should, this is not a litmus test to check our husband or wife or son or neighbor or somebody. Really about me. And then another next one shloka, Bhagavan explained the only, introduced the only 6 Asuri Sampat, the demonic qualities. But later on, 14 shlokas, he enumerated the only that same 6 in what are the forms and the faces these 6 will appear in the people of this Asuri Sampat. Because many times people don't know that whether they are endowed with the Asuri Sampat. Even the so-called spiritual religious people also don't know. That's why Bhagavan thought of enumerating them, and we have seen them as much as possible elaboratedly. Then almost Bhagavad Gita got over by 15th chapter itself. These are all the special instructions again for us to look back. After listening the 16 chapters, not only Bhagavad Gita, many of us, some of others, they will listen a lot. But ultimately, where we are, what we are, it's a doubtful. That's why Bhagavan also has got the doubt that Arjuna, see, I am enumerating, I explained in a detailed manner so many things, but how many people will understand and know it, take it. They may know it, but they won't take it. Therefore, I want to give them a litmus test. So, this 16th chapter, this description. What you are expecting after listening the 15 chapters or 16 chapters? What do you want us to do? We are asking a question to Shastra, or they to Lord, or to the Guru, because all three are one and the same. Yes, the pure mind, Shuddha Manaha, then we can say Shuddha Buddhi, Sukshma Buddhi and Tikshana Buddhi. I will come to these points slowly. Shuddha Buddhi, Sukshma Buddhi and Tikshana Buddhi. Unless you have all these three, you cannot comprehend and grasp the truth as your essential nature. You may heard the Mahavakya and all those things. Therefore, this is one checking point every sadhaka seeker. Otherwise, Bhagavan need not to say after 15th chapter, Arjuna didn't ask any question. Not only that, very interestingly, 17th chapter, the title given as, Bhagavan not given the title, some Mahatma given the title. Even Shankaracharya not given the titles. Later on, Madhusudana Saraswati Maharaj. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yogam. Why he has to talk about the Shraddha at the end? That is the main crucial question. That is what we are going to ask ourselves now. Do we have the real Shraddha? We heard this word many times. And Bhagavan himself told in the middle Gita, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Yo Shraddha sayeva saha. Whatever the Shraddha. So Bhagavan is going to enumerate again Sattvika Shraddha, Tamasika Shraddha, Rajasika Shraddha, Tamasika Shraddha. Again we will only see the list of it. So before going to see that, before concluding the 16th chapter, in between where we are we are really again eligible to take up what kind of Shraddha Bhagavan expecting from us? See, when we listen many things, sometimes we will forget the real thing. Like that, here more than 10 classes talking this and that and all that. So, this is the connection between Shraddha is going to be asked there. So, let us check and enter into that. Do we have the real Shraddha? This word we are listening from the day one of the Tattva Bodha. Ka sadhana chaturshaya sampatti. It comes in that. Therefore, one side is Sat Bhavana, Sat Guna, Sat Karma. These are the divine natured people. Sat Bhavana, Sat Guna, Sat Karma. And other side is Asat Bhavana, Asat Guna and Asat Karma. So if the person is not having a sadbhavana, sadguna, sadkarma, he is not eligible for self-inquiry, to inquire the truth. Therefore, these are the two topics only. So we need not to go and elaborate again, see that amanitvam, like, whatever Bhagavan told there, ahankaram, dambham and all that. We heard a lot. Now the question is, after listening all this, the question is, before that, main chapters are from chapter 2 to exclude the 11th. We don't exclude, but 11th. But main crux of the Bhagavad Gita means chapter 2. And then again 7 onwards, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 and 14 and 15. Everywhere the emphasis is only, Bhagavan himself told that Gnanenaiva tu kaivalyam. Only by the thorough clear knowledge alone the moksha is possible. Not only that, he said, Nahi gnanena sadrusham. There is nothing equal, pavitram, pious, pure, equal to this gnana. Now the question is, gnana means in English knowledge. Knowledge. In outer world also we will learn, we will listen about many things, and that is also knowledge. Knowledge is always an intellectual, yes. Where knowledge takes place in the intellect. So this Brahma Vidya, this teaching also an intellectual knowledge. Many people, after listening also, this question may linger in the mind, or others may create a doubt in you, or anyway. Only intellectual knowledge is enough. Not only that, they blame or they claim or they make fun of it. It is all only an intellectual gymnastics. Who will tell all this? Who will have this kind of doubt? Those who doesn't have Shraddha on the Shastra. Now let us see what is the logic behind their point of only intellectual knowledge. Suppose I go to the computer class and I listen about the computer and I understood the computer and I started using the computer also. So that knowledge I got it. Because of the intellectual knowledge, computer knowledge, my misery has not gone. Or my need for the stomach also won't go, unless otherwise after that computer knowledge I must search for a job and get some job and money, then my belly will get filled. But that is example only. Same way, so computer knowledge not removed my misery, not removed my search of happiness, not removed my begging for happiness, and of course my body needs are also. After that, if I do something, my stomach may be filled, I may get comforts, but whether my misery has gone or not gone. Not gone for certain. Now you take any knowledge like that. Now still simple example. We know very well that if I want to satiate my hunger, I must take food. But before that, we learned the cooking. We learned the cooking. Cooking knowledge is there with me. Cooking knowledge, and I cooked also. Cooking knowledge, and I prepared the food also. My hunger won't go. Yes? Unless I consume the food. I mean, I know the cooking knowledge, then I have to do cooking, then I have to do eating. All these are all looks like very logical, correct only, no? Not only that, my cooking knowledge and cooking the food and eating the food may satiate my body need of hunger, but my misery won't go. Because ultimately misery is there, no? Unhappiness, dissatisfaction, otherwise delusion, fear, whatnot. Many are there. So any material knowledge or fulfilling the basic needs of the body or basic needs of the mind temporarily, that word is very important. And my again craving, running, searching, begging for again more and more comfort or joy or free from misery, sorrow is continuing. So any worldly knowledge is not giving me completeness. This is also ruled out. Now this same kind of logic let us come and apply here. Don't forget that what I am talking, we are giving the connection for our listening of Shastra, and right now if I evaluate myself, because Bhagavan is asking a straight question about now what is your level of Shraddha? What is your level of commitment? If that is fulfilled, Moksha Sannyasa Yogam. Then otherwise why have to talk simply? Now, so the logic, if same logic people wants to apply here, this is also, if this listening, studying Shastra, Shravanam, all this is also an intellectual knowledge. Oh, Bhagavad Gita, there is a book, there is a Tattva Bodha, there is a Upanishad, and all that I heard. Then later I started listening also. So in my intellect, the knowledge about the terms and terminology, Ishvara, Jiva, this, that, and so many words, and now I am familiar with all the Vedantic terminology, everything is told. Many discussions, these are all happened. These are all intellectual knowledge. Yes or no? How come this intellectual knowledge, just I heard it, can remove my misery? Because the cooking knowledge not removed my hunger or misery. This is also knowledge. So this is their logic. Many general public or many so-called listeners of Vedanta also. Then they will come with a question. Sometimes they won't ask the question to the teacher. If they ask the question, it is better, but they will silently disagree. They silently disagree not by skipping the classes or Shravanam. They come to Shravanam Satsang also, but they will disagree, disobey silently, because in their mind the intellect is not satisfied, because this question is there. here and there I pointed out this in a different way, but today very sincerely we are looking into it. I won't say seriously. Okay, seriously we are looking into it. After listening everything this that now these qualities are good in that. Our Shastra says, Bhagavan said, Gnanena Kaivalya, or Tattvamasi Mahavakya, all this. Now, unless otherwise I do some practice, how I will get that experience of I am Brahman? Therefore, I listen and all that. Now, to get that experience of that Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi, whatever Mahavakya that, then I will again go to temple, and then if I go to temple, then the Lord will bless me with the experience. Listen carefully. Or I will take up some other Parayanam, and if I do all that, then this whatever Guruji taught or Swamiji taught, this knowledge will then only give me the experience, because knowledge alone cannot give experience. You need after that some practice. This is the main point. Knowing of the only cooking is not enough. After that you have to do something. Like that, after listening Bhagavad Gita and all that Upanishad Vedanta, shall I need not to do something? Guru says, Shastra says, no, nothing to do, no need to do. They won't listen. They won't listen means the inside there are intellectual blocks, hurdles. Shall I should not follow the Dhanurmasa? Dhanurmasa is not been known to the Tamil people. Margali Madam, I should not follow it. Then only whatever I am hearing and all that, again Lord will bless me. Like this very strong kind of something holding other than the teaching and knowledge is the big hindrance and the drawback. When we say in some other in our satsangs, drop it everything, that we don't understand. Jokely Swamiji tells with some example, we don't understand. Here also if we say, drop it everything. Even Saddarshan, we are going so deep and thinking, talking about it, but we are not able to grasp. One old lady in the last class, after that she came and very boldly, very, what to say, she expressed her thought. Guruji, you are explaining and talking very nicely and with so many examples and all that, but still this Manda Buddhi, I think this is not able to grasp it. Aged woman. That means it seems to be difficult to comprehend, because that still the real listening, real understanding and real assimilation is not taking place. It is not that much easy. It is not that much easy. When it will become easy? When the Shraddha is tremendous. It makes the difference. Otherwise, Bhagavan quoted simply out of 700 verses. Shraddhavan labhate gnanam. Only the person who is having such a Shraddha. Shraddhan Ishvara, Shraddhan Shastra, Shraddhan Guru. That also we think that we like the Guru, we love the Guru, all this. It doesn't make any difference. Shraddha is something different which brings the inner change. Therefore, this kind of question comes. Very important this. Otherwise, no need or necessity to enter into the Shraddhatra Vibhaga Yogam. Still, we have to think a little more. Now you got some what these analyses are for what. Therefore, so this drawback will be there even for so-called senior sadhakas or bhaktas or what? Gnanam and Anubhavam are different. Because in the life experience it is like that. Then they will themselves, because they won't first of all listen fully. They won't listen continuously. Even comes now and then and listens also half off, because it is difficult. 1 hour listening and grasping is mind won't cooperate. That too, they listen many times. I am here but I am not hearing. Then intellectual, they keep their own pre-notions, preoccupations, and with that pre-notions and preoccupation and pre-judgment type of intellect and listening won't help. Won't help. What is the pre-notion, preoccupation? This kind of, and actually before that, this preparation is that this litmus test. Still, if the mind is bugging with any of these negative qualities and asuras, that intellect is not fit for grasping the truth. How much the teacher may struggle and explain this way, that way, all these things, it goes. As like many habits and hobbies in the life, this Vedanta Shravanam and these are also becomes one kind of addiction or hobby. But when we are going to abide in the truth, or we want to postpone it, or you want to have to happen something? What something? Some practice should be done. So when this kind of doubt comes and all that, after listening of course that old lady very frankly came and told. I told, you can understand slowly, okay, we have to try. Go back again and recollect these points by listening again, or you remember whatever you remembered in this 1 hour. Think of, contemplate. That is called mananam. This kind of mananam, this kind of contemplation, nididhyasanam, only suggested, not any other kind of meditation. Suppose I given her answer in a simple way. Not like that you are not a dull-witted. It takes some time, because age, body, health, our involvement, attention, nothing. You you go back and have your lunch and all that, little rest, and again sit. quietly, calmly you work on it with eyes open only. Like that, again and again and again and again, punaha punaha, you be with that thought, then you will see it is not a difficult thing. But are we doing that? Then I suppose then all that 10 people or 5 people in satsang, they will, this is only for example, they will then go out. While going itself, immediately, because somebody wants to comment something, because you want to share. You need not to share anything and talk to everybody. This is sharing and contact, talking and this, now is sharing become very, very big hobby. With that, again, a lot of setback. What do you want to share? With whom you want to share? Why? Why you are hurry and worry about sharing? You work with you. So after gone there, he is telling nicely only explaining. But whatever told and explained, is it practically possible or what? In practical life, it is not possible. Somebody say something, then immediately in everybody's mind that goes and like a virus. Don't think that virus is there only somewhere and some. Even in the satsangs also, these people will be there where they will create the virus. Keep on talking about the other Mahatmas and other experiences, other places, and in what retreats people will do. All the time again, in the name of spirituality, they will talk about the past only, or in the future only. They never work on their thing. Because they cannot keep quiet, first of all. 2 days back in the Yaksha Prashna, the point which we have saw, I told there is a connection between the next class Saddarshanam also. All that together now you will understand what I am telling. So like that, and like this each one will tell, or you listen differently. You can go there also, do that also. Do that also, this also. Because this is, I heard it, but how the experience will come? That means they didn't heard the Shastra from the teacher properly. The intellect, preoccupied intellect, notions, that creates the problem. Now for this, to explain to you little more, I will take the one statement from the Tamil Vedanta. Somebody said, maybe very long, ancient thing. Kandavar Vindilar, Vindavar Kandilar. Many times, maybe almost little people traditional, they may heard somewhere. You all also know it. But the real meaning to understand now, after reading all those Upanishads and Vedanta, Gita, Ashtavakra, all that, then only you will understand if you have a still real qualification. Word to word meaning easy only to say. This is the statement of the Kenopanishad. What is the meaning? Being it is a pure Tamil. பார்த்தவனுக்கு தெரியலை, தெரிஞ்சவனு பார்க்கல. Who says that I saw? Saw means what? Experience. Who says that I have the experience of Atma? That means he didn't know what is Atma. Who says that I know the Atma? He didn't see the Atma. A big contradiction. Like Grandhi shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः. Which is there is never absent, which is you say, which is absent is ever present. But which is ever which you see this is present is never present, it is absent. The truth can never become the untruth can never become truth. These are all just not to by heart or to repeat or say good statements and sentences. That meaning should become my own. Therefore, Kandavar Vindilar, Vindavar Kandilar. Exactly in Kenopanishad this only. Who says that I know Atma, he doesn't know. Who says knowing is okay. But that also used there. Okay. Naham manye suvedeti, nona vedeti, vedacha, yonastad veda. Whoever doesn't know, he knows. Who says that I know, he doesn't know. But here there is a lot of difficulty because for everything Veda word only is used, no known word is used. That we cannot understand. But there actually the no means, see in Bhagavad Gita, if you see from beginning or Veti, Viduhu, Janati, Pashyati. Many times these words Bhagavan used. Only one verb in this create the confusion, quantitative. Pashyati. Gachati. Also many times for other books, other Upanishads everywhere. Apnoti. This apnoti, pashyati, gachati, these are all again verbs create a confusion because it looks like it is something somewhere. So he doesn't have now, he is going to get later. But there is no option for the Shastra, it has to use many terms. Therefore, we need a teacher, guru to explain. But according to Bhagavad Gita, if you take Viduhu, Janati, Veti, all these are all talking about the intellectual knowingness only. Except that Pashyati word. That Pashyati word also, whenever it comes, we are very carefully tell you that it doesn't mean seeing. You cannot see Atma. You cannot see the truth. If anybody is talking about this, because seeing means some experience. That's why people are behind the experience. Some experience vara vendama, irukka vendama, adu eppu varum. Adikku I have to do all these vratams and again and all that also have to do. Then slow. Then you are mad. You are postponing your claiming of the Aham Brahmasmi with full confidence, with full confidence, not to prove to anybody, to yourself. Then if you are really like that, you never indulge and run behind the still worldly things. That's it. That's it. As Vidyaranya Swami telling in the 11th chapter, nobody knows what somebody attained. That somebody only knows what he attained. Therefore, don't give ears importance to such a kind of talking about experience. If experience means, what about the experiencer? You want to separate them both. In all the material things, worldly things, it may be right or wrong, but here it is totally wrong. The experiencer itself is the experience. How you can experience yourself? Now, let us think. I told no 3: Shuddha Buddhi, Sukshma Buddhi, Ati Tikshana Buddhi. Kshurasya Dhara, Kathopanishad is walking on a razor edge like that. If you want to walk on it, you need a Sukshmaya Sukshma Buddhi. Agrayatu Sukshmayatu Agrayatu Buddhya. Sukshmaya Sukshma Buddhi. Why so much emphasis there? That is needed. Now, in these 3 words, Shuddha Buddhi, Sukshma Buddhi and Tikshana Buddhi, there is subtle difference between this. If the Buddhi is not Shuddham, it cannot become the Sukshma. This here Sukshma means subtle. Subtle means for this deeper understanding, thinking, analysis. It's not the question of small. Sukshma means subtle. Subtle means not small, but dive deep into the vicharana. But if the mind is preoccupied, predominated by the vikaras, that is not suitable for vichara. Both are happening in the intellect only, but the letter is little different. That is vikara, is vichara. So all vikaras should be erased. Any kind of deviation, again looking for this is not enough, something is required, then you are fooling yourself. You are losing yourself, that's it. Now, again about this one, the 3 words. Tikshana Buddhi means Gnani may not have the Tikshana Buddhi, no need to have. If he is having, well and good. Now I will tell about it. What is Tikshana Buddhi? Tikshana means intense concentration. In meditation and yoga, all the Jnana doesn't suggest that. For example, in modern medical terms or worldly terms, it is called, that Tikshana Buddhi is called IQ. The children are people who are coming number one in the country here and there like that, are going to the selected by big things and places. They are all having that tikshana buddhi. But that tikshana buddhi, whatever may be the post, whatever may be the achievement, whatever, but still that question remains: misery not gone, greediness has not gone, craving is not gone, jealousy has not gone. If such a kind of buddhi which doesn't eliminate the inner enemies, what is the use of it? But here, ultimately you want to be free from all that only, but you don't know, unfortunately, and you are trying to replace and do something on the over makeup like. But really, at the core of your inner being, you want freedom. But that freedom, you won't come in the material world at all. That is what Shastra differs. That's why these two are a very diagonal opposite things. So, Gnani should have Shuddha Buddhi and Sukshma Buddhi. That much is enough. So, some Gnanis may have that also. If that Tikshana Buddhi is there only, they will become yogis and again running behind about the Siddhis and all that, and they will talk about and they will highlight it and all that. I went to one Mahatma, no, in that time. What you are talking? Why you go to Mahatma? What about you? Why you want to bring those stories and keep on talk and talk and talk? What do you want to say ultimately? So that place and that person is great. Truth is not great. Where is the truth? Then it happened like this, that happened like this. Falling in the field of purview of the ignorance only, but in the name of spirituality. These people doesn't know that. That's why this much deeper analysis. The problem of this Maya, this is, we think that I am listening Vedanta and I am all that. By the time the years life will go and then teeth will go, hair will go, all things will go. But still don't know where we are. Dhanyoham, kartavyam kritam praptavyam praptam. When you bless yourself, yes, I am blessed. Done. But any other thing is bugging, pricking, cookies, holding. We are still in samsara. So I must know that how much I am free. So like this, these three types of buddhis. So Kandavar Vindilar, these are all based on this, and Kayanopanishad I told. That's why what Gnani, knowing, and that's why Shastra we know very well, the knowing is being only. Yes. Knowing and being, knowing and experiencing is not different in Brahma Vidya. That is the point, what I keep on talking. But am I accepted this? Am I convinced with this? And am I in that or not? Therefore, who really knows, he cannot say or talk about it. Who speaks and talks about that he has not seen, he has not known. Therefore, Kayanopanishad. I will give small example. Suppose we learn in the teaching mathematics class, teacher tells, in the beginning she struggles to teach us, this is 1, it says 2, because intellect grasping, oh, one more came, one more came. Further, teacher started giving the name, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. That now child is getting the knowledge of when you say 4, 1, 2, able to. Now tell me, after knowing this 4, then or little higher, 4 into 4, 8. Sorry, plus 4 plus 4, 8. This knowledge. After this, you need to practice anything? Unless your memory is completely lost in old age, that is different question. Then between that you keep on, you have to practice again and again, and you have to remember that, otherwise you will forget it. In the same way, knowledge. Now come to our Tattvamasi or Sarvam Khalu Kalvidam Brahma, any Mahavak. That Aham Brahmas, that knowledge part is intact. Knowledge part intact. Then, if the knowledge is intact, you cannot change or do anything. That's 4 plus 4 is 8. Then, what we have to change? What we are calling from the beginning now? Intellectual knowledge. There only I started topic, no? That intellectual, there you have to do. There you have to do. That only I said, what I have to do? There is preoccupations, there is pre-notions, there is preconditions. That all intellectual knowledge we need not to change or do anything. So when these are things intellectually corrected, for that correction only, you need these 26 qualities. And in one person, there's 26 qualities has to be there, means he should have so much important shraddha on his goal of the life. And further, this is the only way. Nanya pantha vidyate yanaya. But instead of that, to know Tattvamasi, when Shastra said, if you are perfectly prepared, you declare yourself, that's correct. Then after that, how you will be conducted yourself, how you will work. Shastra told many times about the jnanis, lakshanas and all that. No. After listening intellectually, that is only knowledge intellectual. Then we have to do something. This is the totally wrong. When we drop it, then we can hold this. Truth is here now. No, let us come, we'll go for a meditation class, some other yoga class, in some other satsang. We will listen that also. We listen this. Why people uh, think like that because qualification is not there. I am talking to you in this level because you are listening since so many years, considering that, and 16th chapter of the Gita, whether you have heard 16 chapters all from me or I don't know, to thinking that this is the level we must reach, keeping that in the mind and explaining. Whoever listens also, if they understand or take it, otherwise, okay, so what? Therefore, nothing is required later. Anything. Upasana is not required. Karma yoga is not required. Because after crossing all the turn, you have now such a capacity of dropping it. What I told in the Saddarshan class, we are afraid of giving up that I, ahankara. Keeping that around only, building the blocks again and again. This has to be very cautiously, sincerely, with involvement should be done. That involvement is called Shraddha. Therefore, just to now conclude, sir, what about 16th chapter? The 16th chapter only. Finally, Bhagavan, now I'm concluding. Last two shlokas, three, he came about the Shastra. Sir, you spoken now 1 hour, all this. What is the authority? Authority is Shastra. My Guru is the authority for me. Shastra is authority for me. That's why Bhagavan concluded with the bringing back the importance of the Shastra. Yes? And if that Shastra, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavasthitau Gnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam. I told that day this Shastra Vidhanoktam means Shastra told many times, many things, sir. You have to only do this way, that way. We are not talking about the Shastra Vidhana Okta means the Purva Bhaga of the Karma Kanda Mimamsa. This what you say, this is tradition, this is Sanatanam or whatever custom following, they will keep on change from place to place, person to person and time to time. Not about that, this word. I told you, remember that day? 4 Varnas. I told Varnas we cannot think of and talk of now. But what about ashrama? Are you following that ashrama dharma? In what uchashrama, what you have to do? So, Shastra Vidhana Uktam, and finally come by evolving in all that, drop them. As you grow in the mother's womb, you need to grow, but you have to come out also. And that coming out and dropping them is the important thing. And so Bhagavan says, in that way, importance of the Shastra, that teaching parampara, proper, this thing. And once Brahmaji told to the 3 varieties of people, somewhere, somehow, I think this thought came in the Brihadaranyaka only. Yes. So that is suitable to this context now, 16th chapter. Brahmaji taught, Devatas came and Danavas came and Manushas also came. He said, I will take a class separately, each one of you. Each one means a group. All Asuras group. Yours class time is 10 to 11. Then 11 to 12, like that. Okay? Then when he taught them for Devas, you know what he said? Practice Damyata Dhamma, because you people are indulging people. You have no limit or saying enough of it, and therefore please have some control on your kama desire. This is the teaching for you. Go. Practice Dhamma. And Danavas class, you practice the Daya, because you are cruel people, always doing himsa, krodha, showing krodha. So you need to avoid, drop the himsa and krodha, therefore you practice daya. Okay, go. Then Manushas came. You need to practice dana, because you are greedy people, lobhi. Therefore, you need to practice dana, give up. That give up. One day, when you listen to Saddarshan and such things, you will know ahankara vimudhatma karta will drop. Therefore, dhamma, daya, dana. Keeping these three words only, Kanchi Periyava wrote that such a popular song of the world peace song, but that is composed by Periyava, people don't know. And what is that main sentence, they don't know. They know only M.S. Subbulakshmi sung well. What is the use of it? In that, these three words will come. Damyata Dhamma Dana. It comes in a tune, in one sentence. So, these three things only in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, compared with the the thunder comes and reminds us these three, because it should be heard to everybody. But these three people, after learning, they gone back, they remembered only certain time and then slowly they forgot. They forgot. So, these three only, Bhagavan finally means not at the end, but last there, where he said, Kama Krodha Tadha Lovaha Tasmadetattrayam Tyajet Trividham Narakasyedam Dwaram Nashanam Atmanaha. Now you got the connection. To avoid the Kama, Dhamma is given. To avoid the Krodha, then given the Daya. To avoid the Lobha, given the Dana. This is the crux of the 16th chapter. But if you are able to grasp and understand the importance of the discussion today, we'll enjoy and see that. Okay, 17th chapter. Om Tat Saditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama षोडशोऽध्यायः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्मविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्म। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। हरि ओम तत्सत्।